Hey there, everybody, and good morning, almost afternoon if you're on the East Coast. So I'm going to get a little serious today. Oh, who am I kidding? I don't know how to be serious. Yes, I do. No, I don't. Yes, I do. Well, okay, maybe I'm a little crazy, not serious, but let me stop babbling. So I'm interested in having a revolution, but not the one that everybody thinks is happening. So I've got a little bit of a different point of view. Let me elaborate. I've been in really intimate, loving, great relationships with women, including this one here, for a while. Coaching, mentoring, supporting, loving, friendly. I have great female friends. And I've also been in the professional business world for a while. And I've watched the progress of women and how professional we are and what kinds of things we're engaged in and how we're leading. And I'm fascinated by this idea of, revolution that's in the air, and these epidemics and pandemics that keep pushing us out of our comfort zone and shifting our ideas. And every time I watch it happen, it's almost like it creates these separate camps, whether it's like, red versus blue, black versus white, masculine versus feminine. And I keep coming to the conclusion that we're getting stuck in a phase of discord because we insist on being encamped in these polar opposite places. And it's not healthy. It'll resolve itself, ultimately in time. But let me make this about you for a second. So if you're a woman and you're a professional woman and you've been in the work world for a little while, so let's say you're at least in your late 20s and even up to almost 60 years old, you've seen a lot of changes in the workplace, some good, some not so good. And in some cases, you may say that the workplace hasn't changed enough or at all. And let me tell you why I think this is true. Part of the problem is we keep focusing on like this, or worse yet, them being men, them being white people, them being any other big construct that seems to have sovereignty, supremacy, or power. And we don't necessarily know how to deconstruct this. And the problem isn't really out there on the things that we focus on, I guess, at least in my estimation. It's in here, in the power that I need to focus on. And the thing for me is that as a woman in business being a very masculine domain, a woman and being a woman, a very feminine domain, clearly, at least as far as my genetic composition, there's already a lack of balance, a little bit of a fear-based, how do I fit in? Where do I fit in? How smart am I? Am I smart enough? Am I being the right way, acting the right way? And with that, despite education, knowledge, success, there's like this, little puddle of fear and insecurity and low self-confidence. So what I see in a lot of intelligent professional working women is a lot of education, a lot of striving for success, a lot of driving, but underneath it, this like sickness of perfectionism and this sickness of needing to be enough and this sickness that is just like clawing away at a woman's ability to really thrive and lead. And I'm interested in changing that dynamic. I'm not going to do it overnight, but I'm going to do it with your help. And you need to actually understand that you need the help. And if you need the help, here's what your life looks like. You go to work, you show up, you do it all right. But at the same time, there's trouble inside you. You're stressed, you're anxious. There's trouble in your relationship because you don't know how to balance work and your home life. Your kids that you want to raise really well and give all these great life skills to don't like you. And you're like, I don't understand why they don't like me. I'm doing everything right that my parents did wrong, right? And it's because the internal you, where your basic power structure, the love of self, everything you need and are, is disrupted. And you're not actually addressing that disruption. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my coaching because I know that my coaching can address that disruption and it can bring you the balance that you need to actually thrive at work, thrive at home. You have to make some changes, but the deal is that it can happen and it can be real success can be there for you. All right. So I'm in a little bit of a celebratory phase. I'm in a transition of celebration for a certain epic date in my life and when my life changed and power of the kind that I can teach became available to me. And so I'm discounting my coaching services, but you have to be interested and you have to be serious. And I'm only taking 5 women and you've got to enroll by Wednesday. I put a link in the description to this, whatever we're calling these, Facebook Live, where you can book a coaching consultation with me. All right. And listen, we don't have to play this game of like, there's a feminine revolution or there's a la la la. There's a revolution for everybody and it's all going to be good, right? We should have to like get our shit together and realize that this is not just a revolution. Like, I can't sit here as a woman and be like, well, men are my problem, but if I could just change men, then I'll be okay. No, fuck that all. And pardon my French or not my French, or si vous voulez, vous pouvez comprendre mon français, oui? Mais the thing is that it has to, le pouvoir is power en français. Power is in you, no matter what language I speak. Power is of you, and it has to be accessed if you want the life that you're saying that you want, right? Because if your body's failing, your relationship is failing, if your career is stalled, if your kids don't like you, there's something wrong. Time to address it. So the link is down there. If you'd like to take a chance, all you're committing to is to booking a coaching consultation. Of course, to be really clear on that consultation, I'm going to try to talk you into working with me. And that I will do that simply if or because you showed interest, and only if I feel that I can benefit you. So the time will not be wasted. It'll be to your benefit. You'll learn a couple of things. I'll be happy to spend the time with you. And I hope you all have a good weekend. Remember, got to book it by Wednesday. Have a good weekend, everybody.